Hi there. I'm Prescott Finn. I specialize in developing solutions related to enterprise software and IT training. And today I wanted to give a quick explainer of the customer journey. Namely, we'll cover what the customer journey is and some similar concepts like the customer experience and user stories and service blueprints, which are all very similar but useful in different ways. We'll cover how understanding the customer journey is relevant to those working in pre-sales, and more broadly, why mapping out the journeys of your company's various customers is an indispensable tool in your quest to surprise and delight your customers, or at the very least, not to lose them to the competition because they find interactions with you to be both frustrating and anxiety-inducing. The concept is pretty straightforward. The customer's journey is a series of encounters or touch points which each potential customer has with your company, beginning with that first moment of awareness of your company and what you sell, through each time they're exposed to your marketing content, all of the interactions with yours truly in pre-sales and your team of sales professionals, and then eventually, for those who become customers, all of the interactions with those in your company who provide the service or support which your companies pay for. And when you're looking at the customer's journey, you're trying to capture more than just a list of touch points. This is crucial. The real value comes in really digging into your customers and what they're experiencing at each touch point. How are they feeling at each interaction with your company or your brand or your product? And what is this particular set of customers trying to do here? What are they thinking? What are they hoping to accomplish? And this customer journey map is a very, very simplified example, but you can see that by examining the flow from the customer's point of view, the pain points become much more obvious. And you can do something to keep your customers from dipping below that minimum threshold at which they'll start to consider other options. So mapping the overall customer journey is useful to anyone within an organization interested in learning how to serve the customer better. There are a few similar mapping techniques which are incredibly useful to those of us in pre-sales, because our role, remember, is to make sure that whatever new product or service or system we're helping the customer implement, that it's going to help everybody involved in the process accomplish more, faster, easier, right? So there are some variants of the customer journey map, which if you're in pre-sales or if you're involved in marketing or sales or customer care as well, which you really should know about. And the first of these is the user journey. Arguably, a user journey and a customer journey are the same thing, except a user journey is specific to what you might refer to as an internal customer, those within your organization. People who you want to track their actions, thoughts, and feelings as they're working toward a goal. And generally in pre-sales, using some system or technology so that you can optimize the process. Back to the customer journey map, a user journey map would look essentially the same, except that the process at the top doesn't reflect the sales funnel as it would in a customer journey. Instead, it follows whatever phases the user goes through trying to accomplish whatever their goal is. Whereas touch points are the essential minimal building block of the customer journey, user stories serve a similar function, mapping out a user journey. And a useful exercise here is to take a pad of Post-it notes and to start writing short statements which reflect individual steps in his or her journey. Who the user is, what they want to accomplish, and why. What benefit are they hoping to receive as a result? A sentence structured like this usually does the trick. Here's an example. As an account executive, I want to schedule prospecting calls from each fresh batch of leads from marketing so that I can call them quickly while their interest is still piqued. One type of user, in this case account executives, and one highly specific goal. You want to be able to make the calls to the new leads from marketing. And with that, you can organize a comprehensive set of user stories. Imagine a whole stack of these Post-it notes, each with a different user story, into a map, which tracks the user's actions, thoughts, and feelings at each stage, thereby putting you in a position where you can address any bottlenecks or any points of frustration that user might experience along the way. And in order to address those problem areas, you can build a service blueprint. The service blueprint is like the customer journey map turned inside out, because at each touch point, you're examining how what's going on inside the organization is being done in order to provide that point of service. Here's an example. You can see the interface between the customer, whose activity is all at the top of the map, and then the actions and processes taking place at deeper and deeper levels within the company below. And this works really well for making, both for making improvements to a customer journey, as well as to designing a better user experience if you're building an app or rolling out some new technology. And alternatively, if you want to zoom out a little bit from the journey of one individual type of customer or user using one specific type of product, you can build a customer experience map. Oftentimes, customer experience maps and customer journey maps are used interchangeably. But a customer journey map will track one specific type of customer as they pursue one specific goal. The customer experience is comprised of all of the customer journeys, and this kind of map provides a useful high-level view of what your varied customers experience as they engage with you in a variety of ways. It could, like this, it could look quite a bit like the customer journey map, but a proper customer journey map will have the customer profile, there we go, somewhere on it, like here it's shown at the top, indicating whose point of view we're assuming and what that person is trying to accomplish and why they're doing it, what benefit Adrian here is hoping to see. So this here with the profile on top, this is a specific customer journey, but this would be a more suitable total customer experience map for all of the customers of a specific firm. And as I mentioned before, these approaches are really useful to those of us in pre-sales because they help us understand in great detail what the customers or users are hoping to accomplish, where the current system is working, where is it causing frustration, and what might be done in order to improve the process so you don't have either resentful users or customers starting to wonder if maybe they should switch to a less buggy competitor. There's no single method or single set of tools that people use to map out the customer journey or any of these approaches. And you really could write an entire course on just this topic. But there are some best practices involved in mapping a customer journey or user stories or service blueprints. Collecting the input of all of the people who are going to use the system or be directly affected by it is key. And that means management as well as frontline workers. If you're talking about external customers, bring in the people who know them best. Narrowing the scope of any individual customer journey down to one type of customer for one particular product and service is important too, because if you sell, for example, if you sell financial software and you also sell software for people in healthcare, each of those products is going to have at least one distinct customer journey, and sometimes more. Maybe your financial software is of value both to stockbrokers, but also to accountants. Well, that's two customer journeys. The point is, it's better to map out each customer journey separately so that you have a really clear sense of what each type of customer is going to experience along the way. Separating the current customer journey from anticipated customer journeys down the road after a new system is rolled out. That's important. It may seem obvious, but it's really easy to blur how things function right now versus how they could work or how they should work in the future. Employing a few different formats to tap user insights is important. Because different people have different working styles. In some cases, facilitating a large group brainstorming session works best with sticky notes on a whiteboard to plot out each touch point. If everyone's comfortable working as a group, this can work out really well. Other times you might want to work with a smaller group. Small group sessions can sometimes get around communication barriers because of a client company's internal power dynamics, and they can be a better forum for collecting the perspectives of introverts as well. You'll want to have individual users walk through how they currently make use of a system so that you can spot any pain points and bottlenecks which might not get reported in a larger group session. And then last of all, stay curious and stay flexible throughout the discovery process. And this is so crucial to those of us who have been at it for a while and we think we can't be surprised. There is a natural tendency to impose how we might think the customer journey is going to play out and to be less open to some unexpected touch points unique to each set of customers. Anyway, I hope this has been useful. As I mentioned at the start, I'm currently, as of March 2019, on the job hunt. I'm based in the Bay Area, so if you or someone you know is looking for someone with my set of skills, I encourage you to reach out. You can find me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/in/PrescottFinn, or on Twitter at PrescottFinn, or via my website, prescottfinn.com/demo as well. Thanks so much for watching.